So here's where we are with this. What I did, I pulled up the carpet a little bit in the back. If you'll recall, I have not done the floors in the back passenger area or the cargo area yet. So as you can see, they're disintegrated. And there she is. That's the bolt right there that's holding the leaf spring on. So I should be able to. The nut is actually welded on the other side of this frame. I don't know if you can see it. It's just the bolt sticking out here. But I should be able to get the torch in there to heat it up plenty well enough. And then when I get to reinforcing the spring mounts, we'll deal with this little corner. I'm not going to do a whole lot of welding back here because I haven't dropped the gas tank, so I'm actually not going to be welding anything on this side of the frame rail. It's going to be from this side over until later this spring when I drop the tank and put the new one in. And when I do that, I'll do all the floor back here, and we'll do it right. But I've got some 3/16, we'll go from here all the way over. You know, if I have to reinforce the wall there, we'll do that. But I'm gonna get the torch, put some heat on that bolt, and see if we can get it out. Sure enough, it's tight, but it's coming. So I'm just going to keep getting this one out. If it sticks to the sleeve, then we'll deal with it. But if it comes right out, then we're good. Okay, so ran into a problem that it is definitely seized up in the bushing, or the metal sleeve that's in the bushing, and it is just twisting that thing around, and I don't know. I don't want to turn it too much more. It's free from the nut, which was one of my main concerns. And so now I'm just going to take a Sawzall. Let me get down under the Jeep and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So this we don't need to worry about. It's this bushing up here on the top. So what I'm going to do is take my Sawzall and cut the bolt on the inside of the mount on both sides. This spring has a little play in it, so we'll just move it over here and then get the other side, and I'm just going to cut the bolt, and then that shackle should fall out, and then it's free from the nut, so I should be able to take a pair of vice grips from inside the channel, the frame channel, and just twist it out. That's where my mind is on this. So we're gonna try it, and I'll try and run video. If you're getting in my way, I'm gonna have to shut you off and move you though. What I had to do was I cut the bolt, and there we go. There's, get the glare. The bolt was stuck in the bushing there, so I cut it down both sides of the shackle, and that fell right out. So then I was left with this piece down there, and I had to heat that up again, but oh, it came out, and all I did was thread it, take these channel locks, and just kept turning it. Once I heated it up, it spun real freely, and pulled it out this way. So here we go. Bolt number 1 is out. Once again, you can see I just pulled the carpet up. This is just the back door, and pulled this plastic trim up, and I'm just sort of bracing it out of the way, and that stuff pulled up enough to get the carpet up. And say I'm not doing the floors today. I'm just I just want to get it up enough to reinforce this bracket. I took the whole bottom part of the back seat out. That's just one bolt over there. It's some kind of Torx bit. I didn't see what size. That comes out and the whole thing pulls right out. And when I get to the floors, I'll probably take this whole thing out, but I'm not going to worry about that today. I think I can grind up enough underneath there to get my 3/16 steel in there and tie it in over in these areas. So I'm gonna have to get some of this crud out. Some of this is that rubber coating they spray on, which didn't do bupkis. So I just gotta find where the good steel is and tie into that. First things first, I've got to get some heat on the bolt that's down in there. Now this one isn't sticking out nearly as far as the one in back. I believe it's, you can't even really see it, but I think it's just because there's so much crud in here. All of this stuff, which I'm sure is part floor and whatever other rot they it's probably mostly floor actually. So I've got to get some heat on that bolt, and then we'll get this one out. The nice thing about this front one is if it sticks to that bushing again, we're gonna do, there's enough room in there to get the angle grinder in, as opposed to that rear shackle. So I've been told. So hopefully this one will come out a little easier and not be stuck to the rubber bushing in there. But if it is, we'll go to another technique of releasing it. Now, I've heated the nut about 4 times now. You can still see it smoking from the last time. And it's not budging an inch, won't break free. So I think what I'm going to do now, since I've got direct access from the top because I don't have the floors fixed yet, I'm going to cut the spring. That's the top of the spring eye. Oops, right there. So I'm going to cut that with the angle grinder on this side, cut it on the bottom side, and the spring should fall off in 2 halves from around that bushing. And then we'll cut the bushing out, and then we'll peel the sleeve off, and then we'll torch it from the other side, and hopefully with that resistance out of the way, should be able to get it moving. But worst case scenario, this nut might be so corroded and nasty that it's got to be replaced. I don't know. I can't see it yet because there's still so much gunk in the way. But that's the plan for now. Safety first. It took a couple of cuts to get the spring off, because when I cut it on the top and then started to cut it on the bottom, you can see it got all the way almost through, and then it let go from there, but there was still like half that was sticking on, and I don't know, I just had to rethink that better. But once that was off, there's a metal sleeve that goes around this bushing. I was thinking that was the rubber, but there's a piece of metal that goes around that. So I got the bolt free finally, after heating it up again and with a little looser, but I mean it's stuck inside there, and so we're trying this. I could have cut it out like I did the one in the back, but I figured I'd try this way on this one so we can try some different things and you can get some ideas. But now that sleeve is off there, that metal sleeve, I'm just taking a razor blade. I guess you could use a box cutter. I don't know, is that showing up on the camera? I'm just using one of these super thin, I don't know what they're called, but the little straight razor things go in the end. But I figured that would be the easiest because it'll just slide through the rubber easier than like a box cutter. And it seems to be going pretty well. So I'm just going to keep cutting this until I'm down to the metal, which I think I almost am. Oh, I can feel it grinding there. So there we go, that's split, so we should be able to just pull that right off. Here we go, and there is the sleeve of death. There's a line right there, so I'm gonna get a chisel and big hammer and see if we can start prying that apart a little bit. I'm sorry for the light, but it's hard to get a light and the camera and myself in here, and I may have to move the camera at some point. So I think you get the idea. I'm just there's already a line there where it was crimped together or something when it was built. All I'm doing is going in with the chisel and opening that up, and I'm just going to keep prying at it until it's far enough apart that it lets go. So I'm going to move the camera out of the way so I can actually get this done in a reasonable amount of time, and I'll get back to you when I'm through with this. I sprayed some PB Blaster up in there, and I think it's free, so if I grab it with some channel locks here, or you could probably use vice grips or a big pipe wrench, but anything that'll grab that sleeve to keep it from spinning. Well, there we go. Yeah, bolt spinning, sleeves not.